Welcome to episode 148 of Southern Gospel Now. I'm Greg Goodman with your look inside Southern Gospel music. Southern Gospel Now is made possible by Daywind.com, where you'll find Southern Gospel music and soundtracks. We start this week with an update on Tamara Gacious, wife of Gus Gacious of Tribute Quartet. Tamara had to undergo emergency surgery last week. Gus was out of town with Tribute at their Living the Stories retreat. Tamara underwent surgery and was then placed in the ICU on a ventilator. Doctors were quickly happy enough with her progress that they removed her from that. She is now home and resting and recovering. Continue to lift Tamara and Gus Gacious in your prayers. Recently, the Southern Gospel Music Guild met and awarded Greg Bentley their Lifetime Achievement Award. These days, Greg is Director of A&R as well as Director of Publishing for Crossroads Music, which includes the Horizon and Sunlight labels. Greg comments on this honor and his career.
What an honor and surprise it was to be notified that I was receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Southern Gospel Music Guild. As I started looking at it, I was wondering, why was I getting this? But as I looked back, I realized I have spent my whole life loving the world of gospel music and being in gospel music. From my days growing up, going to concerts, to my first full-time position traveling with the Hoppers, then the Down East Boys, Squire Parsons Trio, and then, of course, working at Crossroads Music, since that being the artist relations director. So I'm honored with this award, thrilled that I get to do what I love to do for a living, and just blessed beyond measure. I thank everyone out there that supports gospel music. Because of you, we get to do what we love to do.
Our congratulations to Greg Bentley on earning the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Southern Gospel Music Guild. Spring has sprung. Sonya Browder of the Browders talks about this new season of renewal.
Oh, I love the flowers of spring. I used to do quite a bit of gardening before we had 3 kids that take up all of our time, but I still love the flowers of spring. I love to see which blooms are going to pop out first. And I have some lilies that come out pretty early. I've got some, I believe they're called a Lenten rose, that comes out in March in Tennessee. Just a beautiful, hardy flower. Love to see that. Love the blooms of spring. We love when the spring temperatures hit.
Matthew and Preslee Gooch of Karen-Pecanue River were recently featured on CBN's The 700 Club. They talked about the loss of their daughter Isabel and how God has redeemed their situation.
That was the day that I felt God had spoke to me, and he said, all right, it's been 6 months. It's time for you to move on, and it's time for you to start healing.
He said, we have to move on. We can't sit in this place forever. We have to. We've grieved. And we have grieved over Isabel, and we will remember her. But we have to move forward. And so I thought, you're right, we do.
Scotty Inman's new project, My God, released March 22nd. Scotty talks about debuting the first single off the project.
I debuted the song in a small church in Greenville, Kentucky, and there were some nerves, but I really wanted to sing this song before it came out and kind of try it out on the audience. And I set it up letting people know, hey, this is the first time I've ever sang this song. And man, I could just see when we hit the chorus of my God, the great and mighty King who reigns on high, my God, he's by my side even in the fire. They just lit up and they started worshiping on their own. And before the song was even over, they were applauding the song, but more important, they were applauding their God.
The latest song from the Down East Boys is There's a Song for That. Ricky Carden tells us about the tune.
Well, when There's a Song for That, I was instantly drawn to the lyric. I love this lyric. Kenna West wrote this song and sent it to me, and as soon as I heard it, I loved how Kenna not only had a great thought for all of us, and that, when we're in the middle of tough situations, when we're in the middle of just life stuff, there's always a song that we go to that encourages us. Maybe it's the one you play going down the road in the car when you've had a tough day.
Autumn Streetman of the Nelons has been playing the mandolin for a while now. She talks about the ladies that have influenced and helped her on her journey.
So one of my biggest influences is Sonya Isaacs, and I listened to her a lot, and Alison Krauss, and so she kind of helped me get started in that. She taught me a few things that I could just start with and learn. So mostly everything that I've learned, I've self-taught. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and started playing on the road a few years ago, and so yeah, I love it.
Brian Free and Assurance's current hit is Meet Me at the Cross. Brian says the song's lyrics are meaty.
There's so many lines in that song that mean a lot to me, that encourage me, and it's an up-tempo song that sometimes lyrics will not get listened to quite as much as a slow ballad, but understand this song has a lot of meat to it, a lot of content. Again, it's ever whosoever will may come. That is important. We've all made mistakes in our lives. We all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, and it's important that we remember the significance of the cross and what it means for us specifically as children of God if we're born again.
Lee Black of Legacy 5 talks about spending special moments with his grandchildren.
My wife and I have 3 grandkids now. We have 2 boys and a little girl, and love spending as much time with them as possible. We were keeping one of the boys last weekend while his parents went to a movie. Yeah, I made a joke on social media that he had talked me into a nap. He's not talking yet, so I might have put some words in his mouth, but he was sitting in my lap, and I noticed that he was kind of getting heavier and heavier, and his head fell on my chest, and he just kind of stayed there. And I thought, I'm not going to waste this opportunity with the time change starting that night and losing an hour of sleep. I thought, I'm going to take advantage of this too. But love spending as much time as possible with my grandkids, even if it's just a Saturday afternoon nap.
Time for a look at the top Southern Gospel songs of the week on the Power 50 chart.
Number 5.
Unstoppable God, The Kingsmen.
The unstoppable God.
Number 4.
Privilege of Prayer, The Wisnets.
Praise God for the privilege of prayer.
Number 3.
Carry the Glorious Gospel, Mylan Hayes Family.
Carry the glorious gospel, children, tell everyone you meet.
Number 2.
Meet Me at the Cross, Brian Free and Assurance.
Meet me at the cross.
Number 1.
Stand in the Storm, The Booth Brothers.
I'd rather stand in the storm with Jesus. I'd rather stand in the storm with Jesus.
Congratulations to the Booth Brothers on 5 weeks at number 1 with Stand in the Storm. That's it for this week. If you missed episodes of Southern Gospel Now, you can find them wherever you find podcasts or listen at southerngospelnow.com. I'm Greg Goodman. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to love your neighbor, and I'll look forward to seeing you back here for another edition of Southern Gospel Now.